Now, the rest of the story.
Well, welcome back. I had to grab my GoPro mount. It looks like somebody was just certain that I was leaving the 76. So, yeah, I actually had the camera up in the tractor because I guess it's been a while, but we tried hauling manure the other day. A whole little bit of series that's been going on here, but we fixed the manure spreader. It's on its last leg for about 3 years now, and we managed to get a little bit more life out of it. So we're going to be hauling, I'd say we got pretty easily, I'd say 50 loads. The problem is where we're going to haul it. With all the snow that we currently have, again, come on, dude. Sorry. You just gonna sit up there? I guess. So this is just gonna be an update video because I've done live streams, but as far as you guys really know what's all been going on, stuff. Lots of just random stuff. I haven't addressed that thing at all, which there really isn't a whole lot to say. Dad bought it. It doesn't really need much of any work. The guy that we bought it was from a farm auction. He owned it since it was brand new. The big seller on it was the axles. Dad wanted the doubles versus the single tires because it does help going across chiseled ground as opposed to the singles, like with the case. When the case with the single tires, it's rougher. You even feel it in the tractor because it's pulling over through the chiseled ground. So Dad already went through. He changed out all the shovels. Went back to 4-inch shovels. If those of you that are returning viewers, not new viewers, we went through on the case chisel, which is a 6500 Concert till. It's still here. It's not going away. We still hate it. The reason it's still here is because we will be running 2 chisel plows. We're getting spoiled. It's every season since we started farming, since the dairy cows went away, since Grandpa had passed, which it was pretty much a new chapter for the farms. We've been getting sent different random machines for demos to use to see how we like them, and more or less just so you guys can see our opinions on them as we're running them. And one thing that last year was the year of doubles, but one of the things that really got my dad's attention was how we were able to run 2 different tillage tools last fall. We ran the case of my dad's, and then we ran that Kuhn. And granted, running 2 machines over all of our acres, we were able to get done with everything in about 4.5 days, and that still required running around the clock. I mean, that was the 40-hour work day for me. I started 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock the one morning, and I ran all day that day, all night, all the next day, and it was clear after dark before I got back home. But being able to run 2 machines is really turning out to be important to us, largely because of weather. Yes, that's right. Even as far as the amount of acres we're running, which don't bother asking me how many acres we're running because it's a constantly moving number, and sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. Sometimes it goes sideways. I mean, I picked up a little bit more hay ground this year, but no more crop acres. But this is definitely going to be helping us going forward. The other doubles machines I might as well bring up we ran another round baler from Kuhn. So we had 2 round balers. Also from Kuhn, we ran 2 disc binds, and it's just turning out to where we're able to run through more acres in less amount of time, and it's allowing us to not necessarily always win against the weather, but being able to cut like we did it gives it a little bit, everything a little bit more time to dry, a lot more consistent time to dry. The thing is, last year where we thought, I'm not going to get in debates about that, but where we had cut it, where we thought it was light enough, where we just windrow it, or lay it flat and not ted it. Last year, especially with the smoke from the fires out west, were definitely giving us issues when it come to getting the hay dry. I mean, it just wouldn't dry, especially down the valley. The last 3-5 days that we were making hay, the stuff down at the valley, the stuff that I did get down and ted versus the stuff that I didn't ted out was consistently drier. I mean, versus the stuff that we laid out flat and raked. Tedding for the win. It's more fuel, another pass across the field, but it's not like it uses a lot of fuel. It's more time consuming. So, different, what are these, the true depth shanks on this machine. I hear that these do pull a lot harder. I also was told that these pull up rocks a lot worse than the case machine, but let's face it, when you have rocks, you're just not going to get away from it. Rocks are always going to be a headache on some farms. The biggest thing that this machine needs, other than a bath, because, you know, birds, but Dad did the shovels, that's done. The other thing that it needs done that I want to work on this summer is actually the gangs. This one, they haven't been changed ever. Like I said in the earlier part of this video, this is a 93 machine, and I can literally, that's duller than your kitchen spoons. No offense to anybody, it's just, that's just where they're at. And honestly, I'm pretty sure my kitchen spoon would cut more. I mean, that edge is fully round. So as far as being able to do much for corn residue going across the field, it's not going to do anything. Now, something I'm going to ask you guys, for my seasoned viewers that have been on the farm and done plenty of tillage in your days, or anybody that's currently running their chisel plows like this, I'm taking these off and I'm going to replace them this summer. New bearings and new blades. Now what I'm planning on doing is, instead of doing the standard disc blades, I'm actually considering doing the notched blades, so they're more aggressive. This is already set up where it's running at an angle. As you can see, this is straight across machine, so it is cutting the residue and kind of throwing it at an angle. It's allowing or helping the blades cut into the residue. I'm curious what notch blades will do as far as mixing up that residue. Maybe not even necessarily cutting it up, but helps mix it up, churn it into the dirt, so that way when we do go through the shovels back here, that it allows it to flow through easier. This is a stretch frame machine, so I mean, it's wider and longer than the red one. I'm really hoping that we can actually reduce the amount of pre-chiseling, pre-tillage work we have to do in the fall when it comes to this machine. Not saying we're going to get completely away from it, but I mean, it would be nice when you start talking about reducing trips across the field, to run that red machine through the field at all. It needs to be either VT'd or disked or hit with the rotary cutter. And it'd be nice if I go through and change these gangs out. Next fall, we're going to try just going right behind the combine. You know, not necessarily when the residue is like just freshly combined or shelled, but after maybe it sits for a week or two, it starts to rot, starts to dry out, and then hit it with this. Hopefully it'll help break it up. That's my 2 cents. I'm hoping I'm not being too optimistic in that sense, but as far as, I mean, chisel plows, I'm actually looking at I wouldn't rule out me going and buying one of my own. I don't like the red one. I've made that very clear. I don't need to say it any more than that. It's just that now that we have two, even if that one does give us issues, we still have something to fall back on. Because when that one went down, it was pretty much well, it was. You're done. You're out. You might as well start panicking if you got weather coming or if the ground's going to freeze, because you got to spend time tearing that PLS apart to get it fixed. So, cure, solution. I want to literally look into getting an 11 shank though, myself. I really do. Largely just because I'd put the 82 on it. I don't, no intentions of the 82 going anywhere. But I'd tune it, give it another 35 horse, 40 horse, whatever it needs, and buy an 11 shank. So something else, we're doing a little bit of everything with the 46. As you can see, we're missing a hood. Changing filters, haven't touched the 82 yet, but fuel, engine oil, engine air, hydraulic oil filters. Also did the 4020, the Bobcat. 76 is, we're getting there. I'm probably going to do that another week or two once I'm sure that, well, they're calling for 50-degree weather pretty consistently here, so I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if you guys can see this because it's a GoPro camera. Updates to all the tractors. I don't smoke. None of us smoke. I mean, if I found out that any of us smoked, I'd probably knock them upside the head. Last year when Travis got stuck down at the valley, it's his own fault, but the camera died. Phew. My camera died, it quit, it pretty well left me stranded. I managed to get out one SOS, and luckily enough for me, people were able to come down and help me out. What I'm planning on doing, I already did it in the 7600, and you guys can't see this, but I'm going to be replacing the cigarette lighter with this. I gotta actually cut that out a little bit more to make it work, but it's more of a safety thing anymore. And actually, I could get creative and maybe actually, ooh, that gives me a, it's actually giving me a wonderful idea. I didn't even think about that. I got the stray in the 46 here. Even already got a hole. Oh, this gives me awesome ideas. Because I can set my cell phone up here, and I have a USB charger to plug it in, and that would be a lot more handier than I could wire it in right here, because all it is 12 volt. I can make some wires, run it straight up, and then I could have it sticking right down through that tray, because I don't want to get rid of this tray because it's a nice little, well, platform for putting stuff on. But the thing that I want to look into doing is removing this, taking that out, taking this out, redoing the wires, largely because I saw it in Ag Talk, which, you know, awesome, right? Well, not very often here lately you find something worth taking into account for on Ag Talk lately. It's just a bunch of toddlers bickering. But what I'm seeing is I already got 2 holes right there. I'm very strongly considering relocating the display for the planter, because the problem is, this is me sitting all the way back in the tractor, just like this. Okay, well, even so, with the display, with that tilted all the way ahead, and the display is probably right around here, I still have to reach forward to get to my switches and get to the display. And when you're planting, it seems like you're always leaning ahead in the seat and trying to do this or that or whatever else. I saw online, I just never really considered moving it. I just thought that was the only place to put it. But this area right here, I mean, if I can get it above, so I'm not punching it with my hand, you know, because I have done that before where shifting and caught the monitor. But I'm looking at it like maybe either using these 2 existing holes, because that's already got holes drilled out through it for the base. I could take that out, move that over here, and then I could actually have the display kind of up right here, so I could reach it with ease. I could also take out my camera holder, which, I mean, why would I buy this expensive piece of John Deere made bracket, but you know what? For those of my viewers that are awesome, long-time viewers, know that this is where I mount, well, the camera mount that I'm talking to you guys with in the tractor, so I can talk to you as I'm working. And of course, I do have my cell phone mount up here because I do try to keep it up out of the way, you know. Plus, with I can move the ag leader monitor out of the way because it's a brick. It actually would clear up my line of sight looking forward, as opposed to what I would lose it being out that way over the fender. So I did look up. I didn't, my buddy did. There's a bracket you can actually order that I'm really not crazy about, because I would have to actually take this out, and then it's a bracket that would allow me to bolt monitors and whatever else to it, and it runs the whole length of the cab over here. Only problem with that is space is running at a premium in here. I mean, I got the wires all prettied up and wrapped up as tight as I can for how much you got to pull them back out and dig through them. But I don't know, we got a lot of everything going on. Yep, still no hood yet. The hood is done, but that really gives me an awesome idea. The 76, the 46, and even the 82, I'm swapping out. Maybe not in the 46 anymore, but in the 82 yet, I have the USB charger. It's for all of us, Dad, Ryan, and I, so our cell phones don't stay dead, because those are our main source of our line to help, really, if something goes down. So just makes sense to have a USB charger in these machines, because I do have the cigarette lighter style ones where you put them into the cigarette lighter, but if you don't have them turned just right, and of course in a tractor it bounces and then it doesn't charge, and you can have it plugged in all day and maybe get 20% of your battery charged up. And actually that would help if I can take away from that. This is actually our keyed power. I'm pretty sure we got that set up for that, and then it's already got that is the way to go, without a doubt. I'm gonna actually probably clean a lot of this up. These wires will be probably rerouted up, probably along the frame, and probably cable tied back to here. But man, the more I look at that, the more I really like it. And then I'll have this just sticking down through the plastic, which honestly, there's already a hole there I'm pretty sure I can use. If not, I'll drill it out, but that's awesome. The hood, as far as the hood goes, a family member, we actually took it off, and a family member sanded it down and repainted it, primed it, painted it. If you guys are on my dad's Instagram at all, I'm pretty sure he posted a picture of it, and the only problem is I think we're looking for a new hood for the 46 now, because the way that the old hood looks, I think Dad's going to probably hang it in the house. So he's pretty happy with it. 82 needs a little bit of love. Gotten a lot of complaints about the tires, largely that one. The dual, heck with it. So I'm trying to stay away from 20-minute long videos, guys. Really, I don't like posting them if I can really help it, but I haven't talked to you in a while. So we got a flat tire. The reason we have a flat tire is because Dad, that's right, if you're in the seat, you get your blame for it. Dad actually found a deer antler with this tire, and I ordered. I thought it was on here, but doesn't matter. Oh no, oh whatever. This tire is shot, the duals are shot because they tend to turn more, obviously, so you skid them more on the pavement. And granted, it's not completely bald. I've seen them a lot worse than this, when the tread is completely gone and it's just smooth with the actual tube, but it just refuses to keep air. And what we're going to do is, already did, the duals, this one and the one on the other side, are going away, gotten rid of. The tires, the current inner tires, are being moved from the inners to the outers, and then the local tire shop is bringing, and they're doing all this work too, They're bringing out 2 new Michelins for the inside for not quite $3,000. It was, I'm gonna say about $2,500 for the 2 tires, and then next year I'm gonna go ahead and just do this, either the same thing or just get 2 new tires for the duals. Maybe try to sell these because I hate them. I mean, not trying to pick a fight with anything, but the Titan tires in the front, never did like them. The rears are doing great. These, you really can't tell if they've worn down a heck of a whole lot. I mean, these actually have a lot of life to them yet, and I know for a fact my checkbook does not want to find out how much these cost. Another thing this tractor needs is SCV3. The stack right here either needs to be pulled off, or I'm going to take it to the tractor itself, to the local dealership, so a tech can do it. Either going to replace it or get it fixed. Probably just going to replace it, because SCV3, we've really always avoided using it on this tractor because it came from a chemical or a sod farm down in Okeechobee, Florida, Okeechobee Glades, Florida, and there was a lot of randomized rust on this tractor. I don't know if it's for the jobs they were using it for or what, because the little cubby in the next to the seat in the tractor was full of chemical records and spraying records, like all the stuff that they've sprayed. So overall, I'll tell you right now, I'm not happy with the tractor. I've told my long-standing viewers this time and time again. I like the tractor, but I would almost prefer if it was something else. Newer, older, I don't know. I couldn't really tell you. My biggest complaint about this tractor is the effing sensors. It sits for 3 months to 6 months at a time, depending on the time of year. I mean, granted, maybe I need to start using it more for making hay, but it's a big tractor. I mean, unless I buy another round baler, which, I mean, I've actually gotten really close to buying a different round, or another round baler. I would put it on this, but it just seems like if it sits too damn long, something always acts up, and I'd hate to put money on something doesn't go wrong this spring too. I mean, it worked great last fall, but it seems like at least once a year they're coming down and they're doing something to it. As far as me trying to hunt down a wire or sensor or solenoid or gosh knows what, I would rather save myself the headaches and just pay it and have it done. So my biggest complaint is, yes, it's electrical with this tractor. It just seems like if it sits too long, things get gummy. So would I buy another one? Yeah. Am I not gonna? Would I go to another a red or a blue or an orange or a pink? Probably not. I like the green machines. They're expensive to run, don't get me wrong, but I'm a green person. So with that, you guys didn't really get to see me work on too much, but it's cold. My fingers are already froze. But I just thought you'd appreciate knowing what's all really going on. Other than for the rest of this week, it's probably just going to be this or that, and some of the hay that I put in the shed here this winter, just because it was solid ice, it's finally thawed out. I got to go feed some cows, and we're going to do spring cleaning here one of these days. The 46, I'm not going to probably be putting the hood back on. I got to clean all the panels and the steps, wherever else off of it, and I got to pull the tractor out, unhook the case chisel plow, get the corn planter hooked up. So I got new gauge arms, new seed disc openers, and roller chains coming for the corn planter, because the prices that we're looking at, it's really hard to not justify making sure everything is, even if you're not 100% sure it needs it, for some of the prices that we've locked in so far and climbing, it just makes sense. So with that, stay tuned for more videos from the rest of the story. A lot of this stuff in the machine shed needs to be just shaken up, moved around. We already got one of the trailers out of here. This guy, I got about 1 or 2 weeks of hay to haul. That guy's got to get out of here. The round baler, I need to hook up to it and get that pulled out. Go through all the teeth, check some bearings, belts. The power takeoff is currently being fixed. The CV joint was completely shook, shot, and done. to the point where the last 50 bales that fodder bales I made last year, I was actually sitting kind of off to the side of the seat just because it was sounding that rough going around corners. But things are looking up, things are picking up. Yeah, we could be planting here in just over a month. So once you put that in perspective, when you realize we gotta check fences and deal with cattle and whatever else. So any questions that you guys may have, make sure you let me know. Comment down below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I hate self-promoting. I absolutely hate it. But unfortunately, the way this whole thing works is unless you guys comment and like, it pretty much throws me out of any type of, anything that's going to promote this channel other than me saying, please subscribe. So, and if you guys don't want to watch anymore, I guess that'll be that. So, for the last time, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Take it easy. Keep in touch. I'll talk to you guys later.